Why did you start this project?
The truth is that I didn't actually start this project. I was initially invited by a very close family friend of mine to a very similar sort of organization as what you're going to see today. And when I took part, it just shocked me how in the middle of London, one of the economic epicenters of the world, to see so many homeless people and so many people that are less fortunate than myself. And I never knew this, having lived here for the better part of 20 years. So, you know, I brought a few of my friends along, and ultimately the idea was put to me that why don't I do something very similar with some of our friends, and that's really the birth of what you see here.
How did you make it happen?
It was actually very simple, you know. Maybe the first one took about a week to get the people together. I just basically on WhatsApp put out a message to some of my friends, said, want to feed the homeless in the coming weeks, anyone interested? Very informal, there was no sort of setup, no organization, no institution. It was just a bunch of friends that got together and bought some fruit, bought some water and walked around the streets, you know, handing food out. Very simple, very simple.
What's your ultimate aim out of this project?
I mean, I guess I know that such actions won't really solve homelessness or solve hunger. I guess I would say it's threefold. Number one, it's to break down the social barriers that society has sort of created, to say that these people are human and we're human too, and we can empathize with them. I know what it means to be hungry. You know, not to that extreme, but just to know what it's like to be hungry. Well, here, I'm not with the lack of, so I can help you out, you know. I guess the second part would be because, you know, I consider it to be some good. You know, I'd rather leave the world having done more positive than I would having negative. So I think that plays a big role in it for me as well. And finally, I would say the experience, you know, to sit down with people and to hear their stories and to bring people together to do proactive things. And I think that this is what's needed in society, you know, having been to university and having come from intellectual circles, there's always a lot of rhetoric and, you know, just abstract ideas on what's wrong with the world and how do we solve it. Yet here at least we can do some small good, and hopefully it can build up to something more positive. You know, having a dialogue with people, new ideas can come out. You know, we can expand what little we do, but also to say, you know, this idea that we're doing, very simple, started very basic, you know, it can be done anywhere. You know, I can have a conversation with someone about this very thing. They can see us, and actually people have seen us doing what we're doing and asked to come along, or, you know, so in doing this, it opens the idea that there can be more done, more of the same done, but more of new done as well. And I guess that's really, you know, to evolve and expand is one of the aims. This is my good friend Michael. He's the fruit vendor, and we just wanted to ask him a few questions because his perspective is really interesting. So I just wanted to ask you, Michael, you know, what are the kind of demographics, what kind of people do you see around this area? Generally, honest answer.
So, are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Good. Yeah, it was predominantly business.
Yeah.
Very much banks, insurance, and the legal world. But over the last, say, 5 years, it's changed completely. It's changed completely. This is now service industry, people on low wages, coffee bars by the thousand, and in this particular area of Holborn, there's a lot of strip clubs.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Unfortunately, no, they're the vile underbelly of Holborn now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's changed dramatically, and because of, if you like,
Yeah, go on. All right.
because of the change in the sort of demographic here, the type of people you're seeing now are predominantly working class, and a lot of people doing service-related work where it's low pay and they're just sort of, struggling along.
Yeah. And what would you say? I mean, do you see a lot of homeless people from your position here on the main road?
Yeah.
You do?
Because I'm sort of standing here on a daily basis. I'm just a passive viewer, but
Of course.
I've noticed over 8 years a tremendous amount, both in terms of the homeless, plus the sort of people that are housed but are indigent.
Yeah.
They're having a tough time making ends meet.
Yeah.
So in consequence, they come here looking for handouts in terms of food, in terms of any little extra that makes life a little bit more easy for them, a little bit more bearable.
Of course.
But certainly the numbers have increased dramatically.
Really?
Yeah.
And would you say in the last 4 years it's a lot more?
Yeah.
Or would you say it's been gradual over?
No, it seems it's like the local people.
Yeah.
And then there's been a big influx of people, particularly as we've opened the doors of the EU.
Yeah.
People coming from Eastern Europe. They're not finding work, or they're not finding the sort of land of milk and honey that they were promised.
Yeah.
And now they're looking
American dream, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now they're looking for help.
Yeah.
In any shape or form.
And in terms of, do you think that many of these onlookers or the people that you see walking past day to day would actually know this, or is it simply because you're here every day that you get to see?
It's a combination. I'm here obviously every day, and I see a lot of this stuff going on. But because the poor have been vilified in this country by politicians, people now are turning their blind eye to poverty.
Yeah.
They don't care about people being hungry. They don't care about them being homeless, sleeping in parks and doorways, things like that. And they've become immune to it.
Is there any hope for humanity?
No, I would say no.
Really?
I think there is something inherent in the human condition that they can allow poor to be sleeping in doorways, people to be hungry, and children and just just the people that need a break, the helping hand, are not getting it.
Thank you very much.
So quick. It was all that shit.
Herb is a plant. Herbs are good for everything. Why these people want to do so much good for everyone who call themselves governments and this and that? Why them say you must not use the herb?
I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with the roof right over our heads. We'll share the shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room, yeah. But I'll provide a bread. Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Wanna know now. I got to know. It'll be the same, yeah.
Gotta make a change. It's time for us as a people to start making some changes. Let's change the way we eat, let's change the way we live, and let's change the way we treat each other. You see, the old way wasn't working, so it's on us to do what we gotta do to survive.